Hello there. Welcome to Joy News Today. Coming up, one person arrested in ongoing demonstration by residents of Medina and its environs over better road infrastructure.
The leaders of the demonstration have been arrested. Obviously, it distorts the rationale behind the demonstration. However, the impact we needed to create, we've created it. Yes. But we'll make sure they release our people.
Also ahead of the anticipated increase in lorry fares as a result of consistent increases in fuel prices and gas, we'll tell you some personal stories of how the prices of some goods and services have gone up already, especially in rural communities and other parts of the country, and how it is impacting livelihoods. Meanwhile, the Ghana Private Road Transport Union says it is meeting transport operators on the way forward should government reject their proposal for the removal of some taxes on fuel. President Akufo-Addo launches National Alternative Employment and Livelihood Program to cater for persons affected by Operation Halts. That's the clampdown on activities of small-scale and illegal mining. My name is Mama Vioswabwaji. Great to have you here. Do stay for the details, including business, sports, world news, and show business. Well, thanks for staying with us. In our first story, one person has been arrested in this morning's protests over poor road infrastructure by residents of Medina and its environs. The development infuriated some demonstrators who complained to Joy News, insisting it was an attempt by the security agencies to disrupt their demonstration. Here's one.
Of the town. Yeah. For what? He's been arrested for no reason.
You say you don't know where the MP has been whisked away to.
Yes, we don't know. So we have to follow up from here, and then we know how it ends.
What is happening to the demonstration now?
If the leaders of the demonstration have been arrested, obviously it distorts the rationale behind the demonstration. However, the impact we needed to create, we've created it. Yes. But we'll make sure they release our people. They always pay whatever they deserve to pay to the government, but they are not getting the cost to the effect benefit of whatever tax they are paying. So out of anger, it wasn't sanctioned by the MP. It happens everywhere when demonstrations are ongoing. People burn ties, and this is not the first time. So you can't arrest the MP for ordinary people burning ties. If you want to invite the MP, invite him to the speaker.
Where's the MP now?
He's been whisked away.
By who?
We don't know. Whether because they've been whisked. Before you realize someone is being picked there, another is being picked there. And finally, they picked a chief of the town who has been fighting for roads to be fixed.
What time is it? Yes.
Manuel Quanting, who's covering the protests, the protesters, however, managed to continue their demonstration to drum home their demand for better roads. He spoke to Israel Lai earlier on News Desk.
The member of parliament for the constituency, well, he led the demonstration. He addressed the people, but while he was addressing the people, he said that he had received a notice from the police that he should report himself to assist in some investigations. But he outrightly said that he was not going to go. And so while the address was ongoing, there was increased security present, and an attempt was made to actually whisk him away by the police. Well, his point was that he had parliamentary immunity, and so could not have been whisked away in that manner unless clearance was sought from the office of the Speaker of Parliament. And so some of the youth, as it were, formed a human cage around him and then helped him enter a vehicle and moved away. One of the youth leaders, who is alleged to have been involved in helping the member of parliament to escape, for want of better expressions, was picked up by the police. We know that he was picked up by the Aymensa Divisional Police Command. The entire demonstration covered several communities within the constituencies, from Damfa to Aymensa to Tema to Kuiman to Otinibi and its environs. Now, all the people who participated in this morning's protest were calling for immediate government attention in fixing the roads. And as you can see on this particular placard, use our money to fix the road. Stop bathing in the sky. Bad roads are killing us daily. Is it a crime to ask for a good road? My boss, why are you holding this placard?
Yeah, it's because
Our roads are bad, and we've complained this not now, for so many years ago. We keep complaining about our roads. When the MPs come, we don't see any improvements. So it's about time for us to rise as a youth so that we tell the government to fix our road for us. Initially, it was our intention to bend ties, but you know, as a human nature, we are at the top at Imesa. So before we realized, some of the youths, the cars were not allowed to go. So some were using force to go, so the youth have to bend ties. So that one is unfortunate that it came across, but that wasn't the initial plan.
Some put inside, they should come and do the road. That's what we want. So we need the road. That's what we want. Anytime after, we especially me, I'm a mate. At times when we close from work, the following day we need to go to shop. What is the money? Every day, how do you call it? The money for sales. Where are we going to get that money from? But meanwhile, the road is not good. Always the person complain, therefore, who costs me too much? Always insulting us. Always insulting us. We are tired of that.
Okay. There are signs of earlier construction of the road. But and as this Toyota Prado moves away, you could see something in a semblance of asphalt on this particular extension. Well, it gives indication that there's been a construction of the road. And on both sides of the road also, I see drains. But as it is now, the road is deteriorated beyond points where you could say it's even more trouble.
Manuel Cranting reporting earlier. Let's move on to petroleum issues following a 7% fuel price hike last week. The fuel price increment is at least the 8th time prices are going up this year alone, a situation many fear would automatically compound livelihoods. In a very personal story, Joy News' Justice Bedu went back to Medina, a community he lived for 10 years, to do a journey he used to frequent to see how much lorry fares have changed and how people were coping.
I am standing at Rollins Circle at a bus station in the Accra suburb of Medina. It was in August of 2008 that I first took a car from the station. I had just enrolled in journalism school and I was living in this area. Like the people jostling over space in a trotro now as I stand, I used to take a car here. The lorry fare to travel from here to my school in downtown Accra was 45 pesos then. It's been 11 years.
I'm Lord and I live at Medina Market.
Lord, like me over a decade ago, is a student.
These lorry fare issues, it drains me more than even the money that we use to buy food, because going to Accra or Circle 37 then coming back to Medina, even the traffic is always different. And then now the fares too, like a day you have to in and out might be 12 cedis or more, much more than what you are going to even spend a day. So yeah, it really affects me as a student because I'm not working, I'm just a student.
The journey from Rollins Circle to Accra hasn't changed much. The traffic situation has slightly improved as road infrastructure has become relatively better. The trotros still look old and rickety. And now the fare is 4 Ghana cedis, almost 10 times what it was 11 years ago. Suleiman Ahmed says he has been driving here for more than 10 years. According to him, the cost of fuel is draining.
First, 1.2, tomato 1.2 boyedi.
I have made a stop at the 37 station. At the Total filling station here, I watch as drivers pull up, showing faces of frustration, waking up to the latest fuel price hike, at least the 8th increment this year alone.
First, I used to buy 40 cedis and I work till evening, till closing. For now, if I'm to buy till closing, it will be 60 cedis or 70 cedis. I have to do sales. Every week is 200 Ghana cedis. First, if it's 30 cedis, by 30 cedis, I mean 30 cedis and 70 cedis, there is difference. So before you get the 200 Ghana cedis a week, the increasing of the fuel makes it difficult for us to pay. Most of us are leaving this work because of those things.
Back in Sulemana's trotro, there is gnashing of teeth as passengers now have to tighten their belts to swallow new fares. Between the time I came to live in Medina and now, minimum wage in Ghana has gone up from around 2 cedi 50 pesos to just around 12 cedis 50 pesos now. And yet, lorry fares have gone up by more than 600%. This week, new lorry fare increments looms. It is the proverbial tightening of belts, one more painful time. Justice Bedu, Joy News, Medina.
We'll stay with this subject a while longer because Love FM's Mona Lisa Frimpong has also been doing some checks in Kumasi and sensing this from the perspective of a trotro driver.
We are here at Tech Junction in Kumasi, and many people are complaining following the announcement of increase in fuel prices, and transport operators say they are the worst hit following this announcement, and they are complaining that further increment will cripple their businesses. 46-year-old driver Kwame Sani sits in his vehicle awaiting his turn to get his passengers on board. He is worried the day will end without making enough in profit. He is unable to adequately provide for his family. Kwame attributes this to the persisting increase in prices of fuel. The price hikes have adversely affected his daily income.
From morning till evening, I haven't bought a fuel of maybe, let's say, 120. But now, before closing, I have to buy like 150. So due to the little one I will get out of, that's my own personal one. So that also will still go back to the fuel issue. So sometimes even when I left home, even to my family, for them to even eat, sometimes is a problem. Because due to the car is not mine, it's someone, so I have to go and balance, give the dues to the owner. So without taking the money there, that means the owner will collect the car back.
Kwame Sani has been in the public transport business for the past 30 years. The inconsistency in fuel prices over the years worries him the most.
The fuel prices now has been increasement without even any announcement. We are not even, until when you get to the filling station, you want to buy a fuel, you see that everything is high. So it's affecting us. Why? Because they haven't increased any money for us for the transportation. Because the little one we should get, that's what we are using to buy the fuel again.
Other transport operators who spoke to Joy News are worried about the cost burden of the fuel prices.
We buy fuel at a price of 180 cedis and 200 cedis. At the end of the day, the car owners also demand their share, which is between 130 to 150 cedis. At the end of the day, how much profit do we get?
Bibia wo be kosoro mam nti adenga na aden say esi akufuado papa say nipa nya de o ma we akufuado wo patro no ntobi.
Everything is expensive in this country. What do our leaders want us to do? They don't even buy fuel. I use all my profit for fuel. It's like I work for the filling station.
Like other commercial drivers, Kwame feels they are the most unfairly treated workers. He wants government to intervene.
We drivers, it seems like every government, when every government comes, they doesn't even, it seems like we don't know whether we did anything wrong to them or what, we don't know. Begging the government so that may God touches their heart, so that they should help us, so that let the things calm down.
Mona Lisa Frimpong reporting.
From the Ashanti region, we go to the Bono East region, where Joy News' correspondent Anat Sabit reports that some rural folks say the increases are slowly collapsing their businesses. There's more in the following report.
Fuel prices are now at record levels due to recent hike in the price of the commodity over the past few months, and the projection from the National Petroleum Authority suggests that there will be a surge at the pumps if all other factors influencing pricing do not change. These incessant hikes has contributed to a higher cost of living for Ghanaians both in the cities and the rural communities. Today, we take a trip to Lalai, an island community in the Sini East district of the Bono East region. Residents here say aside the increase in the price of the commodity, its scarcity continuously make life difficult for the people here. Akri Benjamin Reynolson is a member of the community's Child Protection Committee.
We are facing a lot of problem over here because Kulu believes the fuel will not come. When it comes, then they have to pass it some way. Then looking at the drums, taking like 480 Ghana cedis. Now they are taking the drums instead of 480 Ghana cedis as 1,000 Ghana cedis or 800 Ghana cedis. And then we feel say it's worrying us a lot. Yes, it's making life difficult.
We are suffering. We are suffering a lot. Fuel doesn't come. If we come to our area here too, unless market day, before they will sell it. Meanwhile, if somebody needs fuel for some issue, emergency, we will not get. If the government will kindly provide fuel for our district, so that you can sell it every business day, or if anytime at all you need fuel, you can get it. That could be happy.
The only means of transportation for the people here is through the use of boat, which uses fuel. Benjamin says pregnant women sometimes lose their lives due to the high cost of the commodity.
I quite remember some last year. The open for me by instead of cross because of the expenditure, we are not able to get a fuel. So everything have turned around. The time we need to get to Kitekrachi, we didn't get there around 7. It was later around dawn, 3 a.m. Because the person don't have money to buy around 1.7, 1.5 instead of 60 Ghana.
The people here wonder why the price of the commodity keeps increasing though Ghana is an oil-producing country. Say Ruben Dakwe is a boat driver.
First na 2 petrol Ghana no. Na musi omu 2 petrol amano no. Ye Ghana for kra ye ho atoye. Yes. Sesi ye 2 petrol Ghana. Ye 2 ye no ye hu be a petrol na fa. Enti sesi ano ye ho no ye edini. Ti kan ye Etian land. Ya nya petrol na se ba ya le a. Na se si en fa hospital kesia. Bibia da ni nsuo to atwa. Wan twa nsuo a. Wontimi fa bank hospital. En sesi ano petrol na mutu Ghana ye hu no ne e sisi.
For the women living in this community, their major concern has to do with the amount they spend at the corn mill each time there is increase in the prices of diesel. Due to the increase in diesel prices, we are now paying more at the corn mills, and this is affecting life here. From Lalai, we made a trip to Uraso, a farming community in the Tichima municipality. Kwame Charles is the only corn mill operator here. He's been into this trade for the past 10 years. I am a farmer and a corn mill operator as well. When I started, business was booming, but now life is getting worse due to the hike in fuel prices. Charles, however, tells me that the increase in diesel prices is slowly collapsing his business. Fuel is already expensive, and should the price go high again, then I'll have to stop this, because if the work I do is not able to pay for the cost of fuel, then it's better I stop this. Charles, like many others living in such communities, are appealing to authorities to help in the reduction of the commodity to ease the hardships of the masses. Reporting for Joy News, Anas Sabit, Uraso.
Meanwhile, the GPRTU says it will be meeting its members tomorrow to decide the way forward should government fail to heed their call for scrapping of some petroleum taxes. The union is scheduled to engage government over their demands. General Secretary of the GPRTU, Godfred Abobira, has been speaking with Israel Lai.
He's also complaining about it,
about the fuel price increases.
Yeah, that one is generally a problem facing all transport operators. But those who are involved in this meeting may not include the STC.
All right.
We are just, we the private sector in unison are holding this meeting.
All right. So what's in this letter that you sent to government?
Come again?
What is in this letter that you sent to government?
We said that we just want to make an appeal, and then this time around, not to request for the fair increment to meet the fuel prices, but that government should look at it in a different angle, and then see whether they can remove some of the taxes we have shortlisted on that letter, saying that some of them need to be reviewed or to be scrapped off.
All right. Government has already indicated that there's one tax that is looking at zeroing it for the next 2 months. Which other taxes are you looking at?
Oh, on that letter, we had mentioned this energy sector recovery levy.
All right.
We had mentioned the MPPF levy, post levy, and then this toll recovery levy. We have about 6 of them we have shortlisted. About 6 of them. We thought the government should look at it and then see. So if at all some of them cannot be scrapped completely, but their margin should be reduced by the persons that they are charging, should be reduced. So that letter is yet waiting for the response for us to know when we have to do.
All right. But you also appreciate that government finds itself in a difficult situation, that if it scraps the taxes, then there's less money available to government for development projects and infrastructure and improving the road sector.
Yes, government said so. And then really, realistically, we know that when government removes all of them, it will also have an effect. But we, like you heard me say from the beginning, we just don't want to just have that old conventional way that when the moment fuel price goes up, then we increase our fares. And one thing is that the moment fuel price goes up and then fares are increased, it affects almost everything in Ghana.
The Ghana Chamber of Bulk Oil Distributors has called on government to fix the road network in and around the Petroleum Storage Management Industrial Area in Tema. The 7.2-kilometer single carriageway, which is meant to facilitate service delivery by industry giants like the Tema Oil Refinery, West Africa Gas Pipeline and Quantum Terminals, is in a bad shape. Chairman of the Depot Committee at CBOD, Mr. Alex Amwako, warns the deplorable nature of the road could one day affect petroleum supply across the country if not fixed soon.
Basically, this is the Tema industrial area, and over here we have a lot of industrial setups, but I'll just limit myself to my sector, which is the petroleum industry. We have at present within this enclave close to 10 depots. That's we are talking about storage, petroleum storage fuels. Then we also have LPG depots, close to 5 number. If I decide to go a bit out, we have also power plants, about 3. So you will notice that significant quantity of the fuel that we use in this country is basically coming from around this enclave. If we start from the end there, we have Toll, we have Tema Fuel Company, we have Woodfields, we have Quantum, we have Vanna. So almost all the petroleum products that are used across the country is coming from within this enclave. So you have a lot of bulk road vehicles, BRVs, petrol tankers running around the place. And certainly you've seen the state of the road, and it's in a very bad shape. And this has very tremendous effects on the condition of the vehicles, because these vehicles basically break down very quickly because of the bad nature of the road. But even beyond the breaking down of the vehicles, we have the issue of safety also to deal with. These are highly flammable products. We're talking about LPG, you're talking about petrol, and you're talking about diesel. If an LPG truck for any reason breaks down. It's abandoned because it was a bit in the evening, they had to kind of flame somebody comes to run into it, anything can happen. You also have the petrol vehicles. They are going, and because of the nature of the road, the product itself is also playing in the bulk, and that in itself is also impacting the vehicle, can also have other effects on people nearby, and all sorts of things. Quite apart from the industry itself, we have also other industry warehouses and other companies around. You always find these trucks which are moving sugar, rice from the harbor, breaking down on the road.
Now, the high prevalence rate of malnutrition and undernutrition in the northern parts of Ghana has been attributed to poverty. Research by the UN Food and Agriculture Organization has shown that undernutrition and food insecurity persist due to unstable food production, insufficient purchasing power, and problems of physical access. A lecturer at the University for Development Studies, Dr. Clement Kubuga, has been testing this research in communities in the Kassina-Nankana West districts of the Upper West or Upper East region. Correspondent Albert Sori has more.
These are women of Pagaburu in the Kassina-Nankana West district of the Upper East region. 2 years ago, they were mostly unemployed, but today they are engaged in shea butter processing. As part of a community service research conducted by Dr. Clement Kubuga, a lecturer at the Nutritional Sciences Department of the University for Development Studies, the women got some capital with which they started a revolving loan scheme which is helping them in their trade.
Other 2 or 3 people, they can take about 2 million, they will go and buy. Others will take 3 million, others can take 5 million and go and buy the nut and come and do it. Every 1 million have an interest. After they finish everything, then they will bring the interest. When we know that the interests are increasing, we will leave them the money for them to use it about 3 months or 2 months before we collect it for the other women to also collect.
Dr. Clement Kubuga is researching to establish how the economic empowerment of women in some communities could improve the food security situation in the communities.
We are trying to use applied research in transforming lives. In this part of the country, undernutrition or malnutrition is really high. And the FOA has it that these challenges are largely due to physical access, and then it has to do with purchasing power. And again, people not being able to produce enough to meet their needs. When you look at women of this nature, so we try to increase their purchasing power by introducing what we call revolving loans. We give money to these women groups, and the hypothesis here is that, or the thinking here is that, when women have access to credit facility, their purchasing power increases, they have access to food, and that translates into their household access to food.
Funding for the project was provided by Professor Skinner William through the Rotary Club of East Lansing, Michigan, USA. There are 60 women in this group, but not all of them are here today. They say they are seeing changes in their lives.
That it is good for us because we can see that the poverty is not decreasing for us. It's decreasing small for us. Our family, when I get small, the interest, that interest I can use it to buy food for them to eat.
For the women of Paga Nakolo, soybean farming was the best way to invest the capital they were given as part of Dr. Clement Kubuga's research. On a 4-acre land in the outskirts of the community, they cultivate soya beans in the rainy seasons. This farm is important to us in many ways. It is helping us to make some income and also provide food for our families. and this is really good for us. If the fund could be increased, I am sure many women will join us and life will be better in our community. At the Pagasaka community, the women have a community microcredit scheme running, but they also have a soya bean farm and a small poultry farm. Mary Baniwe is the leader here.
When we sell the soya beans, we take that money and give loans again. If your child is going to school and you don't have money, you come and collect. If you're going to farm and you don't have money, you will come and collect that money and go and buy fertilizer and start the farming, then you will bring the money back.
Now, President Akufo-Addo has launched the National Alternative Employment and Livelihood Program for persons affected by the Operation Halt 2. That's the national clampdown on small-scale and illegal mining activities. It is estimated that over 1 million people in mining communities across 5 regions in the country, including Ashanti, Eastern, Central, Western, North, and Western regions, have been rendered unemployed as a result of the ban on their operations. President Akufo-Addo gave details of the initiative at Takwa in the Western region meant to cater for affected persons.
A program designed to help alleviate the hardships of those affected by government's efforts to sanitize the mining industry. Ladies and gentlemen, Nananum, with Ghana having been blessed with so many minerals, it is not surprising that mining has always played a significant role in our lives. For centuries, our minerals have been the attraction for investors, adventurers, and fortune seekers. Many foreign thrones and crowns are adorned with the gems taken from our lands, not always through straightforward means. The pursuit of gold in recent years through the phenomenon of illegal mining or galamsey has reduced many of our forests to degraded lands and some of our rivers to polluted water bodies. It is no wonder, therefore, that some describe these minerals as curses instead of the blessing and good fortune they should be. In order to help curb the menace of illegal small-scale mining, the Small-Scale Gold Mining Law, 1989, PNDC Law 218, was passed to regulate small-scale mining and to facilitate Ghanaian participation in the mining industry. This law prohibited the use of explosives and heavy machinery in small-scale mining in favor of less expensive methods. Today, without any form of license, some Ghanaians are conniving with foreigners to mine everywhere with explosives and heavy machinery, including in forest reserves and water bodies.
The main National Science and Maths Quiz Championship is here, and the countdown to crown the 2021 winners will start tomorrow as we begin with the preliminary contest. With the adrenaline rush and pressure they experience, especially from all students who are keen on winning to earn the bragging rights, the 2020 winners from Presec Legon are urging contestants of the participating schools to be calm and find a way to deal with the anxiety that comes with being on the big stage. Maxwell Agbagba has more in this report.
The auditorium of the 2020 finals was filled with anxiety as the schools sang their anthem. The contest featured Presec Legon, Adesado College and Opokuwari School. After 5 rounds of heated contests, Presec Legon became the 2020 champions with just 5 points. It was an unforgettable contest that even caught the attention of the president.
This year is the turn of the Odadiers, who impressed the whole nation
with their performance in the competition. So I applaud the contestants, Isaac Kofi Jemfi, Benjamin Kwanzaa Nketia, and perhaps the most famous of them all, Daniel Kekeli Gabeto.
1 year after going through the experience, the winners have advice for this year's contestants who will be battling for the trophy. 2020 NSMQ winner from Pesek, Daniel Gakbeto, wants the contestants to know it is a competition and they do not have control over the outcome.
As much as everyone is here to win, in the end, it's a competition. You may go through successfully till the very end, or you might fall short. It's at the end of the day, life goes on. Whatever happens, whether you win the competition or you go out in your first contest, the most important thing is to put it behind you.
We look forward to the start of the 2021 contest. On that note, we take a breather. Stay with us. Daryl Kwao comes up next with business.
Hi, good afternoon. Welcome to Business. My name is Daryl Kwao. Now, the World Bank says it is committed to comprehensive debt solutions for countries such as Ghana with high debt vulnerabilities. Speaking at the End Poverty Day 2021 program, Country Director Pierre-Frank Laporte said many low and middle income countries were in a vulnerable position prior to the COVID-19 pandemic, with slow economic growth as well as elevated levels of public and external debt.
19 has triggered a steep increase in debt, particularly in emerging market and developing economies, as governments around the world responded to the COVID-19 pandemic with massive stimulus packages and emergency measures. The resulting debt burden of the world's low-income countries rose 12% to a record $860 billion in 2020. Even prior to the pandemic, many low and middle income countries were in vulnerable positions with slowing economic growth and public and external debt at already elevated levels. The World Bank is committed to a comprehensive debt solution that can bring real benefits to people in poor countries, particularly countries with high debt vulnerabilities that do not have the financial resources to respond adequately to the COVID-19 crisis. Comprehensive debt solutions will involve at least 4 elements: debt suspension, debt reduction, debt resolution, and debt transparency. For the End Poverty Day, we decided to engage you with a focus on helping countries toward a green, resilient, and inclusive recovery and preparing for future crises.
Meanwhile, the World Bank says it has committed a total of $435.8 million to support government's COVID-19 health response. Here's Mr. Laporte again.
In terms of COVID-19 health response and vaccination, the World Bank has committed a total of $435.8 million to support Ghana government's COVID-19 health responses along 5 strategic pillars. First, to stop importation of COVID-19 cases. 2, contain the spread of the virus. 3, provide adequate care for the sick. 4, limit the impact of the virus on social and economic life. And 5th, inspire the expansion of our domestic capability and deepen our self-reliance. Access to safe and effective COVID-19 vaccines is a vital tool to fight the COVID-19 pandemic and strengthen global economic recovery. However, global supply shortage in COVID-19 vaccines has slowed down vaccine deployment in low-income countries.
In other news, Ghana has been ranked the 6th best place to invest in Africa. That's according to Rand Merchant Bank's attractiveness report. George Rafe has more.
Ghana in the report managed to maintain its 6th most attractive investment destination spot at a time that saw some countries go down or even miss out in the top 10 most attractive investment destination in Africa. According to Rand Merchant Bank, the investment and corporate wing of one of the biggest financial institutions in Africa, that is First Rand Bank, Ghana maintained the spot because of its strong fiscal position in the face of COVID-19, which has thrown many economies out of gear. The country was also praised over how it is strongly recovering from the pandemic and strong growth potential for this year. Ghana was also credited with how it has used borrowed funds to support growth. Stable political environment, systems and programs in place to support the expansion of businesses helped Ghana to maintain its sixth spot in the region when it comes to place to invest. Ghana came after 5 countries, including Egypt, which was ranked as the best place to invest in Africa, followed by Morocco, South Africa, Rwanda, and Botswana. In West Africa, Ghana was ranked as the best place to invest. The report is in line with other publications that has ranked Ghana as the best place to invest in West Africa, beating Nigeria. The report ranked countries based on their business environment, political stability, fiscal, and growth potential.
We have more business news coming up at the top of the hour. Up next, sports.
Hello, good afternoon and welcome to the sports segment. We do start off with a special report as head coach of Real Tamale United, Shaibu Ibrahim Tanko, says his side is focused on the top 4 finish as they make a return to the Ghana Premier League. RTU recently beat a select Magdan 11 side 1-0 in a special cup match to mark the Damba Festival of the Kingdom of Dagbon in Yendi in the northern region over the weekend. Joy Sports' Nathaniel Atto was at Yendi and put together this special report.
Over here, there's a lot of focus on Real Tamale United and how good they could possibly be looking ahead of the Ghana Premier League season. So this cup match, which they won against a select side called Magdan 11 from Accra, is surely a test case to test, the match readiness of the side ahead of the start of the Ghana Premier League in the coming days. So the brain behind all of this is Alhaji Farouk Aliu Mahama, whose late father, the former Vice President of Ghana, was a key board member of RTU. Now he's here with me and he will be having a conversation with me. Alhaji Farouk, how are you doing? Good to see you.
Thank you very much. I'm privileged and happy to have my ancestral and the backbone of the team that my late father was the first chairman of RTU, financier, bankroll the team, and today, right in front of my eyes, they are winning a trophy, which is justifying that indeed We Unite is back.
Okay, so we're still here, we're still spending time with Real Tamale United, and they are fired up for the rest of the season, the upcoming season. Well, Coach Shaibu Tanko has taught all of us that he knows how to do it, and when I say how to do it, I'm talking about getting a club from the second tier, going through the mill and ensuring qualification. He's done that this term, and I'm very sure that he also has his own philosophy and his mindset going into the season. Congratulations, Coach, for winning this one.
Thank you very much, my brother.
We haven't spoken in a while.
Yes, please.
All right, great. Now, tell me about recruitment, the look and feel of your team and how preparations have gone, in these past few weeks, especially as we get closer and closer to the start of the season.
Yeah, thank you very much. I must say that we just came back from pre-season tour in Accra. We arrived this morning and then we are here to honor this tournament because, we expect our honorable MP and Magdan group of companies to enjoy real football, except that when we came here, the field wasn't that good that we're expecting, but we try to do our best in order to win the trophy.
Now, there is a lot of competition in the Ghana Premier League, and as you can see, now every club is stepping up the effort to ensure that they make a mark, not only stay there, but make a mark and also, go to compete in big competitions like the Confederation Cup and, the CAF Champions League. What will be the plan going into the season?
Yeah, basically, our thinking is that we need to be within the top 4, and for that matter, we need real support from our board members in order that we achieve that, a fit.
Okay, thank you very much, Coach, and I'll take the final word from the captain of the side, who led very, very well today for this victory and this special trophy, which will go into their cabinet before we start off the Ghana Premier League season 2021 and 2022. How are you doing? Congratulations again.
Thank you, sir.
Now, I'd like to know, I mean, what have you guys been discussing, you and your teammates, basically, now that this promotion was secured and now that, you know very well that now you're bringing Ghana Premier League action to this side of the country for the first time in a long time?
Oh, thank you very much for the question. Myself and my teammates, we have been discussing, we have been working hard to stay in the top 4, as our coach said earlier on. Okay. So that has been our main.
So the main idea into going into the economic season is that you're going to stay in the top 4.
Yes, sir.
Okay, great. But before we also go, tell me about the other clubs and who you think will pose the biggest challenge to RTU and the ambitions to be in the top 4 and stay there.
I don't think any club can give us any tough time. I don't think.
You don't think so?
Yes.
All right, so this has been the story right here. Real Tamale United say that they are coming in to stay in the top 4 and wrap it up for this coming season. Maybe in the next season they can, aspire to something even bigger than that. So it's been a wonderful game. A lot of things have been said, and of course, it's great to note that the Aliu Mahama Sports Stadium in Tamale will host Premier League football one more time. Well, from Yendi, in the heart of the Dagban Kingdom, it's Nathaniel Atto, and I have love for sport.
Well, that was Nathaniel Atto, and that's how we wrap up the sport here. My name is Ray Kwampofu, and World News is up next.
We'll bring you an update on the developing story. The pastor whose prophecy dancehall artist Shatta Wale has cited as the reason for his recent shooting hoax appeared in court today. The founder and leader of New Life Kingdom Chapel International, Stephen Akwesi, had been remanded for 5 days by an Accra Circuit Court, popularly known as Jesus Ahofe. The preacher was seen in a viral video explaining circumstances under which the self-styled dancehall king could be shot allegedly. Mapito Sibidi was at the Accra Circuit Court and has the details.
It started with Bishop Stephen Akwesi, popularly known as Jesus Ahofe, who had predicted that musician Shatta Wale would be shot on October 18, 2021. The bishop of the New Life Kingdom Chapel was then charged for causing fear and panic. However, he pleaded not guilty at his first court appearance on Thursday, October 21st, 2021. He reappeared in court today, October 25, 2021. Where he was granted bail of 100,000 Ghana cedis with 3 sureties who are gainfully employed. He is to report to the police every Monday and Thursday, and the next court sitting is October 29, 2021. From the Accra Circuit Court, I am Mapito Sibidi.
And that's it for show business indeed. That's it for Joy News today. For more news, do log on to myjoyonline.com. My name is Mama Viosu Abwaji. On behalf of the production team, we thank you for watching.